everybody, welcome back to the Time Pass podcast. This is your host, Ashika. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't done so already, please like me on Facebook at Time Pass Podcast, follow me on Instagram at timepass_podcast, and check out my YouTube channel where you can watch all the episodes of the Time Pass podcast. Like, follow, and subscribe. You can also find me on the TikTok and follow me there. And now, you can also listen to me on Ruckus Avenue Radio on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, Pacific Standard Time. Gosh, I can't even keep track of all the stuffs of everywhere that I am. All right, you guys. I know I was MIA last week. I'm sorry, not sorry, okay? It was Mother's Day weekend, and I'm gonna stop giving you guys the excuse that I'm busy, okay? Because, that's just who I am. Honestly, my brother was in town. He flew in for Mother's Day, and he came in Saturday night, and I had, a super busy Saturday. I'm gonna talk about what happened last Saturday, but, we hung out Saturday night, and then we woke up and we wanted to do brunch with Mom. Then we had to go to Fabian's house for this little get together that he was having. And by the time everybody came home, we were just tired, and we just wanted to kind of hang out as a family with my daughter and my mom and my brother. So we had a great time. I will tell you that, single moms out there, fucking kudos, bro. Kudos to you. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day, because I think it's hard when you're a single mom and your kid's little. They can't really do anything. My daughter made me the cutest little heart card that she gave to me with my coffee that day. It was so cute. We had Starbucks, and she was like, "Oh, Mom, I brought your coffee upstairs," because I was resting. And I went to go grab my coffee, and then she had put her little card there. So that was really cute. But anyway, I just think it's hard because you don't have a man in your life who is gonna make it special for you. I know, I guess with my ex-husband, we had one Mother's Day together. Two Mother's Days. No. Yeah, because she was born, and then she turned... Yeah, and we had 2 Mother's Days together. And he always made it really special for me. He got a card, and he would always give me flowers. Y'all, if you don't know the way to my heart, you should already. It's flowers. I fucking love flowers. I buy my own flowers now. I don't need a man to do it for me. However, do I like it when a man does it for me? Hell yeah, because it means something else. But, I don't have that, right? So, I didn't have anybody to, go over the top for me. And I think that's hard a little bit for single moms. So, single moms out there, I hope you had a good Mother's Day. And you don't need a man to make it feel special for you. But it doesn't hurt. It was so funny. But I really think that, with men, I guess maybe I still have expectations for people that have been in my life or whatever. And I really was expecting a message from someone, and it didn't come. So I was kind of disappointed. But I did get a call from my friend from England. It's nice when a man, regardless if he's just a friend or acquaintance or whatever, just remembers that, hey, this is my friend. She's single, and it's Mother's Day. I should call and check on her. And it was so nice because he called me, and we were out at brunch, and he just called because it was Mother's Day, and he knows that I'm single and alone, and he just wanted to wish me a happy Mother's Day. And it just, if a man wants to, he will. And my friend Steve showed me that yeah, he would. And this other person maybe I thought that was gonna message me did nothing, which shows me he won't. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. I know I did. It was a great time, but we are here to talk about the topic today. And it's so funny because I'm talking about my ex about this Mother's Day stuff, And the show is going to kind of be about my ex. A little bit about when you get a divorce, what do you do with your ex's stuff? So I got a divorce. Okay, so we separated when my daughter was just 2. She was 2.5. And we separated. No, was she 2? She was 1.5. Yeah. Yeah, she was 1.5. I'm sorry, she was 1.5. And we separated, and basically my home, I purchased my home right after the recession in 2008. I purchased my home in 2009. I got a killer deal on it. And I have my mom to thank for that, because like South Asian parents, they let their kids live with them. And my mom had it figured out. My mom is so smart, like financially. Like, she's much better with money than I will ever be. I am horrible with money, like horrible. She is great with money. But I have like boundaries, right? Like I don't do the credit thing. I just don't. She put that in my brain, so I'm like terrified of credit cards. I have one. Anyway, so she was like, hey, stay here, live with me, and save money up so that you can buy a house. And I was in my not even late 20s, like mid-ish 20s, and I bought this house in like, I think I was 27 when I bought this house. So and I always knew I could grow into it. And so I was living with her, and she wasn't charging me any mortgage. She was in the beginning, and then she wasn't when she had this plan of me buying a home. So then she was like, hey, you don't have to pay me anything. Just live here and save your money. And so that's what I did. And I bought my home. And I bought my home prior to getting married. So I bought my home, I think I was engaged already, but I was not married. So like, this house is like my house. I've always felt that way. Even like through the marriage, we refinanced a couple times. And then my ex's name ended up on the loan for the home through that refinance. But even he, I think in his consciousness, knew that this was always like my house. Although don't think he didn't try to fight me for it during the divorce. But I won. I got my home. Anyway, so I didn't have to pay him a cent for it either. But anyway, so with this house, when we were married, right, so I got the house and we weren't married yet. We were engaged. I got the keys in like November, December of 2009. We got married in 2010, in May of 2010. And so, gosh, I didn't even like remember like my old anniversary this year. Ooh, oh well. I guess that's what happens when you're like moved on and happy. But anyway, okay, so the house was obviously like bare bones, and we moved in, and paint colors. I picked out the paint colors. When we went furniture shopping, like I picked out all the appliances. Well, I guess we did appliance shopping first. I picked out all the appliances. I got the fridge I wanted. I got the washer and dryer I wanted. I got the stove I wanted. I got the microwave I wanted. I got the dishwasher I wanted. Like everything I wanted, I picked out everything. And my ex was just very like, submissive and very just like, that's why our relationship didn't work out. Because he was very like submissive and very just like not opinionated about things. And that's like every woman's dream sometimes, but not mine. Like I need you to have an opinion. And I found out the hard way, but anyway, so we started buying furniture, right? And so we went, and, the dining room table, like I loved it. The style of table, like I love it. Although I'm like over it now, but like I still love the table. It's beautiful. It's wood. I like it. But I remember I had been picking out everything, right? Like, so all the paint colors, all the appliances, the table, the chairs for the dining room. And I just remember we were at like, I think we were at RC Willie. Yeah, I think we got our couch at RC Willie. And he saw this couch, and my family room, it has to have like a sectional. Like there's no other way. It's weird. If I could show you guys, I would, but it has to have like a L-shaped sectional. It's just the way it works. And he found this sectional and he was like, hey, this will fit. Like he had the specs, right? He's like, this will fit in our room. It looks like a comfy couch. I like it. You guys, it was like dark brown. Not a fan. But, and I even think my mom was with us, and I was like, really? Like, I don't know. And he's like, it'll fit perfect. Like, I think it'll be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And I think even my mom was like, you've been picking out everything. Like, maybe let him have this. This doesn't look bad. Like, it's a good couch. Like, if it gets dirty, like, it's dark. Like, no one's going to notice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. When I tell you that that is the only thing that this man picked out in this house, that is the only thing that that man picked out in my house, ever. And so, think about it. So I got my couch. I think we bought it in like early, because we didn't move in right away. We were like painting and doing things. So we bought it in 2010. So it's like a 12-year couch that I've had. And it has seen better days between my baby, like my daughter and the spills and the wine. Like I entertain a lot. People spill shit all the time. Like that couch really needed to go. And I took care of it and I cleaned it and whatever. But it was the only thing of my ex's that was still in this house after he left. And last Saturday, my new couch came. I finally bit the bullet and bought a new couch. When I tell you guys how much of a like impact that had on me, like even like going couch shopping, like I was so happy. I was like, I'm finally gonna get rid of that couch. And like, it's so funny because I never thought about it like that until I knew that like I was going couch shopping and gonna get a new couch. And then all of a sudden it brought all that up. Well, like I've had that couch forever. And then how you picked it out? No, I didn't pick, and like it brought everything up. And then I was just like, oh, we need to get rid of that couch. So Saturday, my new couch came and I love it. And it's so me, you guys. Like I had my friend who goes to the gym with me in the mornings. She came over this morning and she walked into the house and we were just talking or whatever. She hasn't been here since the new couch came. And she's like, did you get a new couch? And I'm like, I did. And then she's like, oh my God, I love it. It looks so comfortable, blah, blah. And I was like, sit down. And she's like, we gotta go to the gym. And I was like, yeah, I know, but just sit, just try it. And so she sat down and then I started telling her, because she's known, she knew my ex-husband. I was like, guess who had picked out the old couch? And she's like, who? And I was like, my ex. And she's like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so happy to get rid of it. And she said this to me and she goes, this couch looks like you. And I'm like, yes, it does. It's more me. Like, throughout the years, you guys, I don't know. Like, I just never, like, I think I always, like, I want what I want and I like what I like. So I have a very specific look. And even though my ex is super handy and he did a lot of things, like, he tore out the entire backyard. He built me a pergola like I wanted. Like, I love it. But, like, that's the thing, like he built it for me. It's my design. Like, so it's exactly what I wanted. And like, it's not negative. I'm like, I wanted that. I designed it. I told him what I wanted and then he built it. It's like, even with some of the trees that like in my backyard, all the trees are planted by him. Guess who meticulously picked out every single tree that's in my backyard? Me. My roses, my lilies, every single plant that is in that yard, front and back, hand-picked, purchased by me. He did the work. It's like having like a free contractor. It was like having a free contractor for a while. I have these custom bookshelves in my family room. Again, whose design? Mine. He built them. So nothing in this house really like reminds me of him. It's very me. Everything's been picked out by me except for that fucking couch. And so for me, it was a really big deal. It was a really big deal to get rid of that couch. And in my neighborhood, there's like always people trolling for things. And like I said, I kept good I kept it in good condition. It wasn't like a horrible couch, but it was like 12 years old. So I just put it out on the street with a sign that said free, and like in 2 days it was gone. So I love that because I don't have to pay for somebody to haul it away or anything like that. But like honestly, in my neighborhood, I do that with everything that I want to get rid of. I just put it out on the curb and write free on it, and somebody takes it. It's the best thing ever. And it's nice to know that somebody's maybe using it or giving it a home, somebody that needs it. So then I started thinking, right? This was like a big day for me Saturday. I was super excited. And then I started thinking about like, how do we handle like when you're in a marriage or even like a live-in relationship, you're living with someone and then they leave, like what do you do with their stuff? And if you are a time passer, you know that I've done an episode on relationship souvenirs. And you know how my friends give me a hard time because I have relationship souvenirs. There's things I have from men I dated that I hold on to. A lot of it's clothing. There's a water bottle. There's a water bottle right there that I'm staring at. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, that's different for me because, like, number one, like, the jacket I have looks so much better on me anyway, so I kept it, and I like that jacket. It's lightweight. It's black. I can wear it. It used to be part of my airport outfit. Now I do denim a lot, but, you know, like, it's fine. And then there's a shirt that I like to sleep in that's, you know, an ex's. Like, I slept in that shirt last night. Like, it's comfy. I like sleeping in it. Like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't mean I'm holding on to those people, but it's like a little bit of like my history. So go back and listen to the relationship souvenirs episode because I think I did a better job of describing why I hold on to relationship souvenirs because I think that they're parts of me and my history. And I don't hold like emotional connection to those things. They've just become part of my things now. But anyway, so I started thinking, you know, what do you do when you're in that situation? And like with me and my ex, like I was the catalyst who wanted the divorce and pushed for it. So like when he left, I was finally comfortable in my own home again. And so I really didn't know what to do with his stuff. And I started thinking, like, what do you do with your ex's stuff? So this is what I did. First and foremost, when he moved out and got his own place, when we were separating, he took a lot of stuff with him, but then he didn't take some stuff with him. And then I just told him, like, hey, like, you should get your stuff. And then he would, like, come and get stuff. And you know, it's just, like, back and forth. But then once I think we realized, like, hey, we're not getting back together, I literally was like, hey, you need to come and get your stuff because I'm cleaning around the house and reorganizing, and I put everything like into piles for you, and you can come grab whatever you want, and if not, I'm just gonna end up donating this stuff. And I remember, so my ex was a track star in like high school. Like he was really good at running, and he had like all of his like track videos and medals and things up in my attic. And so I remember one day he came, he's like, well, there's things in the attic that I really want. And I was like, okay, well, just come get them. So he came and he got stuff from the attic. And then in my office upstairs, which I never use, I should really convert that into something else. But in my office upstairs, I have like DVDs and things. And so he had a bunch of his like nature and animal stuff. So my ex is like an animal keeper. I'm like an animal lover. You could see the initial attraction there, right? City girl met a man who was like super great with animals. Like, of course, I was like, tell me more about the animals. Let me pet them. So anyway, you know, he took some of his movies and videos, but, well, DVDs, but not all of them. And then like I was going through it and I was just like, I'll just leave them because I don't know if like my daughter's gonna want that in the future, or the next time I go through, if like she's not into it, then we'll just donate them. I don't know. And then in the garage, like, oh, that was a disaster zone. The garage was definitely like his space. in the house. I think that's where he really felt like this is my space. Like I can put whatever I want in the garage. And he had a lot of tools because he was super handy. So I was like, hey, come get all your tools. I remember he took some tools, but then he didn't take them all. And then like he called me one day and he's like, hey, have you gotten rid of the tools? And I'm like, no. And he's like, there's a few more tools that I want. And I was like, come get it. Like I was just like, hey, get your stuff. Like I don't care. And I have tools now because like, I don't know when I'm ever going to use them, but they're there. I don't know, whatever. So I think that's nice. Like I think if you're breaking up with somebody and you live together or were married, it's nice to be the bigger person and give their stuff back. Give them a chance to take what they want. And my ex did that, you know, 2 or 3 times over the years. You know, he just came and like grabbed stuff, and now there's like, you know, there's nothing here that he is his anymore, except for maybe some tools in the garage, but they're all tools that he doesn't want. So he was like, you can donate them or you can keep them because you never know when you need them. And I was like, all right, whatever. So you should do that. And then I think after that, so what I did with stuff that was left that he didn't want, it was in a garbage bag. If it was trash, it got trashed. If not, it got donated. That's what I did, which donate is on my list as well. And then the other thing you can do with your ex's stuff, if it's of value and they don't want it back, you can sell it. So I think because, again, I was the catalyst for my divorce, obviously, like, I offered him my wedding rings back because it wasn't a cheap ring. I know that. Like, and so I was like, hey, like, you can have the rings back. Like, I don't want to hold on to it. But I remember, I think he was really hurt, and I think he was leaving, and it was like as he was leaving the house, and I was like, hey, like, you can have the rings back. And he's like, I don't want the rings back. Actually, I left my wedding ring upstairs for you. Like, you can have the rings back. And I was like, okay, okay. What did I do? I sold my rings. I sold my rings, I sold his rings, and I funded my first trip to India and took my mom with me. Like, I took my failure and turned it into this amazing memory that I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. Like, it was my very first time in India, and I had been planning that trip for like over a year. Like, I guess I'm not horrible with money, but like, I do think about things before I make large purchases and do things. So I was planning this trip for a year, and I knew that selling the wedding rings was gonna fund the trip. And we did this like little tour of India where I visited like a bunch of different towns and all over the continent. So that was really nice. So you can sell things that are of value. Like I said, you can donate. This is where I put donate. And then you can keep what you want. So like I said, like the tools that are in the garage, like, you know, I kept whatever's there now. And then I reclaimed that space and reorganized it a few times over. I've had like a friend help me reorganize it. I've had my mom and my aunt help me reorganize it. One time they were here and they were like, we're cleaning your garage. I was like, great, have at it. But yeah, I think as long as you're on okay terms, which my ex and I are not like friendly. We're not friends. We're not like that, like at all. Because our divorce was so messy and it did get ugly. There's just, I saw a side of him that I never thought I would see. And I can't get, like, for me, I'm just like, we're cordial. We talk about our daughter and that's about it, but we're not like friends. That's not happening. Even though that's what I wanted in the beginning, you know, it just didn't work out that way in the end. But we're cordial and we can talk about our daughter and we message about that. So like, it's fine, you know? So I think as long as you're trying to be cordial, especially if you have, like, there's kids in the picture, you can't just be a dick. Like, you can't. There are times that I wanted to. And, like, my mom to this day will be like, your daughter said this, and, like, aren't you going to do anything about it? And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I just, like, 3 years to finalize a divorce and run to the court is a really long time. And that's a lot of stress and a lot of drama. And at this point, like, unless it's something serious that's like concerns the safety of my child emotionally or physically, I really don't want to start drama over little stuff that an 8-year-old girl is saying that may or may not be true. I just don't want to. So I, like, you know, just kind of sit back and, you know, I'll ask my daughter about it, see what the real story is, because she does exaggerate to her grandmother. But yeah, you know, like I just, if you have a kid together, you just have to figure out how to make it work and how to be cordial. And so that's what I try to do. And that's another thing, like, right, I've talked about it on the show before. Like, I have a temper. I try really hard not to lose it. So I don't pick. I try to pick and choose my battles always. And so, you know, I think if you were living with somebody and you left on amenable terms, or you have to be cordial because of children, offer them their stuff back, throw it away, sell it, donate it, or keep it. And I think that's the best way to handle it. Now, obviously, if you're in like an abusive situation, or you had to like get away from your significant other, don't make that kind of contact. Like, I would just, there's also legal ways to do it if it is an actual marriage. Like, you can actually catalog all the items that they left and give it to your lawyer and have your lawyers handle it, which is the safe way to do it if you are in that sort of situation. Or if it's a really nasty situation, you can do it that way and just catalog things, and then they can pick and choose what they want. If you don't want to, you know, be the bigger person, or you're not able to because it's an unsafe situation. I don't know. How do you guys get rid of your ex's belongings? And again, I think, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything that my ex-husband gave me. Obviously, like I said, like the custom bookshelves he built, my design, I'm not getting rid of it. Same with my pergola, which I love, outside, like over my back patio, like not getting rid of it. But I'm trying to think if there's any like thing that he gave. Oh, there is. I do have a gift from him still. So he, like, I was like, when I was really getting into like working out again or whatever, I was obsessed with having like a nice exercise machine, and he bought it for me. And I remember he was still making payments on it when we separated, but he made good on his gift. He was like, I just have like a couple payments left. I'm going to pay it off. It was a gift, so you can have it. And I was like, okay. So I still have that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that in my car, there's a little English bulldog stuffed animal that he bought me. And that's because my dog was an English bulldog, and her very first collar was so small, because I brought her home at 6 weeks, that it fit around the stuffed animal. And so I still have that in my car, like, because it's my dog. It reminds me of my dog, and the little stuffed animal looks exactly like my dog used to look. So I have that, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I didn't really keep many relationship souvenirs from him. I think they're, you know, it is what it is. But I think there's a difference between like keeping souvenirs and like dealing with a breakup and dealing with all the stuff that needs to get divided and sold and all that. I just remember that man left so many of his clothes here, like so many of his clothes. And I was just like, and then he left like clothes that people had given him that he didn't like. And sometimes they were like my family members for like gifts or whatever. So he just like left them here. So I was like stuck like donating all his stuff. And I remember I asked him a couple times. I was like, hey, you have clothes. Like, I need to clean out my closet and like reorganize. Do you want this stuff? And he's like, I don't want it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to donate it, get rid of it, you know, do all those things. Let me know how, if you've ever been in this situation, which a lot of people have, let me know how you deal with getting rid of your ex's belongings. And how does it feel when you finally get rid of like something big, right? Like that couch for me, it's huge. You see it, you sit on it. It's like just a part of your life. And so when I started shopping for a new couch, it really felt good. It feels so good when I look in the next room and I see something that's like mine, like I picked it out. Like I love that. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. If you haven't done so already, please like me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywheres. Like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you are following or subscribe to me on your listening platform of choice, wherever you tune into podcasts. Find me on Breakups Avenue Radio. It's the #1 South Asian radio and podcast network with over 9 million users monthly. Find me there, you guys. Let me know what you think about all this. Through it all, your breakups, your makeups, you're getting rid of stuff, your dividing of items. Stay authentic to who you are, and I will see you next time. Bye.